Caleb here, back again with more bad fanfiction theater, and we have a guest.
Hey.
Hey, Harley! Hushicho's back!
Yay! I'm
Yay!
back! I'm here!
And this time we are reading a supernatural fanfiction, because Hushicho's really been wanting one badly.
Yes, I don't know, like, even though I've kind of walked away from the community that I used to be in for a lot of fuckery, I still really love reading supernatural fanfic.
Well, for those of us, such as myself, who doesn't really know anything about supernatural except that, it's two brothers killing monsters, kind of like Buffy or Angel, you want to fill us in on what supernatural is?
Yeah, basically it's the story of these two brothers, and one is the kind of one is an asshole and the other's a bitch. And the asshole one named Dean is kind of a daddy's boy, and the bitch, who is Sam, is kind of, well, bitchy bitch. He he won't.
Now I kind of want incest for different reasons because I have an older man, younger man kink. And now I kind of want to read that story instead.
Believe you me, there's plenty to satisfy you in supernatural fandom.
Goody! I'll be looking that up later.
Yeah, it'll be fabulous because there's something for everyone in this fandom. There's something no matter what, and even though some ships will hate on other ships, I think that happens in every fandom. Most of the time, the people I find are sensible, aside from the people that I.
Or if you're like me, you always fall for the ships nobody writes about.
Yes, I know you often said that.
It's true. I always like to see that one person that nobody else wants to see, like Anderlock in Sherlock fandom. Some people will, but it's like a handful to fix.
Yeah.
The rest of it's just Omegle roleplay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes I've had that happen too, or especially in like anime series. I will get so in love with the design of a character or the concept of a character, and it's like nobody draws that character.
Yeah.
Nobody likes this character. I'm the only one.
But anyway, back to Supernatural.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
The series started off very simply with Dean, who was the daddy's boy, older brother, coming to find Sam, who had gone away from his family, gone to college, and but see, their mother died when they were younger because she was killed by the yellow-eyed demon, and their father has a vendetta ever since, and so he's been fighting to get this yellow-eyed demon. Anyway, the whole thing about Supernatural is that they're a family of hunters. They hunt evil, harmful, supernatural beings, although that's kind of gotten muddled over the years. The anime actually, aside from a couple of really bad episodes, but, considering there were also a lot of really good episodes, so the animated series, was actually a lot more balanced in kind of presenting the characters as compelling characters who weren't quite so eager to just destroy anything that wasn't human. There are some episodes in this series, but it depends usually on who gets to write them. Like, it's very uneven in the live action series. But then again, they also have a lot more episodes and a lot longer episodes. Like the animated series had like half-hour long episodes, which was okay. It was.
Well, wasn't Supernatural like an hour?
Yeah. So, well, a TV hour, so about 40 or 45 minutes, whereas the anime was like 20 to 25 minutes, which I thought was actually better because you don't get quite so much farting around with shit you don't care about. Because like you watch the live action show, and there are some really good episodes, but there are a lot of episodes where you spend a lot of time doing shit that just doesn't matter. Like just to fill the hour. Because you basically have like 20 to 25 minutes of actual story, and then you have, about 20 more minutes of shit that doesn't really matter, but we have to pad out the hour. So it's I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic, but the series started off with basically a focus on the brothers and the relationship with their absolutely horrible father, who who popped back in from time to time. Their mentor Bobby, some of their friends and their father's friends, and a lot of guest stars that didn't want to be tied to a show, so their characters always ended up getting written out. So, so that's another reason why I like the animated series a bit more, because they went into it, just planning on this sort of contained story, and didn't have to have people go, "You need to write my character out because I don't want to be tied to an ongoing series." But then they had their little apocalypse arc, which was really not very good. But when I hurt my back a few weeks ago, I had to spend a lot of time lying down on my back like a gigolo. Yeah, I spent more time with vibrating cushions on my back than prostitutes probably spend in an average day. It's awful. I couldn't do anything except lie there, which is probably what a lot of people just do. But anyway, uh, but so I would punch up Netflix and I'd be like, let's watch a random Supernatural episode. Oh, let's see. I haven't watched since X season, so I'll just do a random, more recent episode. But some of the episodes I saw more recently were actually a lot better than they used to be. It's like, I don't know if they've just sort of said, fuck it, we're just going to have fun with it, because they take it so seriously in some of these seasons and episodes. And it's like, this is not a premise that really needs to be taken super seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it's really kind of ridiculous. But
So basically, we have a show that has a fan base, might be taken a little too serious by its own fan base and the people who work on the show. Caleb has no idea anything about Supernatural except it is a thing her mother watched.
yeah.
And Hushicho has seen, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's you're not really missing anything special if you don't see it, but it does have a lot of porn done around it. So, but like I recommend watching. I'll bring it over next time because I've got it the animated series, and I can leave that with you to watch. But I did in fact I did a review on it, which was one of my Push to Talks episodes.
Plug.
Yeah.
You're going to pay me for that plug, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't offer free advertisement. I don't offer free advertisement, buddy.
Asthmatisement. You need to remember that word. That's a great word.
Well, I have it recorded now,
Yes.
so. Blooper. I don't know anything about the show. Hushicho's seen the show, even though he's kind of just like Ed's thing. And so we're going to be reading a Supernatural fanfic because he's really been wanting to read one.
Yes.
Yay! So today we have, if I can actually click on the webpage, there we go. We have A Very Supernatural Orgy by All Incest is Wincest.
Yay. Okay, so two things I'd like to point out. The relationship between Sam and Dean, the two focal brothers in it, is called Wincest because their last name is Winchester, and obviously two brothers are incest. But I just love the name Wincest. It's like, I know, it's like it's two fictional characters, get over it. But like the fact that it's called Wincest makes me think nobody with any taste can possibly hate on this because it's called Wincest. I just think that's so amusing because I love puns. Yes. I love.
It's like that bread pun battle I had with one of the commenters, and we just kept going. And I think it was me ran out of bread puns, and I'm like, I ain't got anything else. I could write something about toast, but that yeah.
Also, the title of this, there was an episode called A Very Supernatural Christmas, so this is probably some sort of slight nod to that.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, so thank you for sharing.
The more you know.
The more you know. Okay, anyway. So, I don't know if this is actually technically a bad fanfiction because it's listed as humor parody, but we've ran into stories we liked before, but then they kind of just shat all over themselves.
Yeah, and we've also run into stories that were labeled as humor that didn't turn out to be
Yeah,
very, you know, like some of them could be very mean-spirited or.
yeah. So on fanfiction.net in the supernatural category, we are reading A Very Supernatural Orgy by All Incest is Wincest. Having escaped briefly from the Archangel Castel. Wait, what? What Archangel did you escape from?
Uh, Take a pick of any archangel. There was a lot of douchery in heaven.
Okay. Having escaped briefly from the Archangel, Castile appeared at St. Mary's Church Hospital.
Yeah, I don't actually know what they're talking about. I don't remember a St. Mary's. Maybe I'm forgetting.
Yes.
I didn't care much for the apocalypse stuff, so maybe I just blotted it out.
Okay. At St. Mary's to warn the Winchesters that an entire fleet of angels was coming for them for some reason.
I don't think it's called a fleet.
Flock? I don't know. Maybe it's a murder of angels. It could, it's a murder of
I'm pretty
crows.
sure it's not called a murder of angels. Maybe it's like a legion. I thought it was like a legion of angels, but whatever.
Castile entered the room, his patented blank look on his face, and began, "Dean, I have something to tell." Ah! 3 exclamation points.
How many should we do at once? Because these are all just one-liners.
I figured we just go one at a time. Just like read a sentence and go, read a sentence and go.
Okay.
Like that.
Sure enough, Castiel had walked in on the Winchesters having a mass orgy with Lucifer, several demons, and even the prophet Chuck.
What?
This was a thing in the TV show. It was really stupid, honestly, so we'll just gloss beyond it.
Okay. "Oh, Sammy, you naughty boy," Dean said. He looked up from his passionate lovemaking to see I about said Castle. Wrong show. To see Castile standing in front of them, attempting to gouge his own angelic eyes out. Ow.
You know, you would think that since he's obviously familiar with them up to now, this would have probably come up before.
I guess.
Like, I can't imagine Sam or Dean being successfully subtle about anything they do, especially if it's stopping each other. I mean, Castiel is kind of clueless for a while, but yeah, nobody's that clueless. Like, seriously, people constantly assume that Sam and Dean are together, like in the actual series. So it's not like it's out of the question or anything. I'm blind. Unfortunately, Castiel's eyes healed instantly, allowing.
Why would this be unfortunately? He's just witness to an orgy with demons and the devil himself.
Well, you know. Allowing him to see Sam perform a striptease for Lucifer.
So wait, he just stood there while this happened? He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't leave the room or whatever. He'd just stand there and watch.
Yeah, and funny enough too, as it says, Castiel appeared at St. Mary's. He has the power to basically teleport himself. So not only did he not teleport himself away, he didn't walk out of the room either. He just tried to gouge his own eyes out.
"Who's your daddy?" Lucifer said. Sam giggled in reply. "Oh, Cass, I'm glad you made it," Lucifer said. Wait, what? Okay, Lucifer said, "Who's your daddy?" Sam giggled in reply. "Oh, Cass, I'm glad you made it," Lucifer said. Okay, so Sam just laughed. He's not actually talking.
Maybe. Either way, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
I guess. "Oh, Cass, I'm glad you made it," Lucifer said. "Did you bring lubricant?" He didn't even know you were having a mass orgy. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have shown up.
Yeah, considering that he tried to gouge out his own eyes rather than leave the room.
Maybe Lucifer isn't all that hot. Or he has some ugly ass demons hanging around him.
Somebody please kill me now, Castile screamed.
Now, don't be like that, Cass, Dean said. He came behind Cass, oh my, and hugged him tenderly. You're all I ever wanted, he purred.
And yet, he's all you ever wanted, but you were just having sex with Sam, seriously.
Well, it is an orgy, I guess.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you don't say you're all I ever wanted when obviously you have wanted other things because you were fucking someone like 30 seconds ago.
Also, what? How is this a appropriate reaction? Wouldn't at least one of the brothers, I would assume, if not both, be like, you can leave, right? And we'll talk to you about this later. Because you're a major boner kill.
Yeah, you would think that a dude that appeared suddenly and unannounced and then tried to gouge out his own eyeballs, screamed, and asked for someone to kill him right now would not be okay. Like, he clearly has some kind of a
issue,
bad reaction to this. Yeah, I mean, and if he didn't think to leave the room or to teleport away, maybe a gentle reminder would be good. Cass, you can teleport, right? Help! Rape! Castile screamed.
You're not being raped.
But
how is this even rape? You're there. He just hugged you.
But quickly Castile realized that he could not escape his inner desires.
That you suddenly have now. Insta-boner, I guess, after gouging out his eyeballs.
No. Yes, no, yes.
Okay. Dean unbuttoned Castile's trench coat, because that makes sense when you have fucking wings.
Wait. Castile's wings should not be out, but Castile never buttons his trench coat. Like, it's literally never fastened.
Rawr, said Dean. What the hell? Rawr, said Dean. He pulled off Castile's shirt. Again, which I don't imagine would be comfortable when you have wings, but anyway.
Well, he doesn't tend to manifest the wings. He's just in a vessel.
Exposing Castile's flawless chest, perfect tan, and...
Tan?
Apparently he has a tan now. And symmetrical nipples.
Because that's really crucial to mention that his nipples are symmetrical. It's noteworthy, damn it.
I guess so.
I'm going to put it in my story.
Well, it would be on a woman. I don't really know about men.
Soon, both Castile and Dean had stripped off their pants.
Wait, weren't they having sex when... Oh, why would Dean have pants?
Yeah, I don't know either. But apparently he put his pants back. Maybe he put his pants back on.
Maybe he just slipped out enough to fuck his brother and then... I don't know.
I can't believe we're having this conversation. Whatever, maybe he put them on to comfort Castile. He thought Castile would be jumpy.
We're reading erotic fanfiction. What do you think we're going to be talking about?
Yeah. Well, obviously we're not talking about anything erotic.
Not really.
As always, we find a way to get away from the eroticism.
Well, there's nothing really erotic about, like, this is happening, now I want this to happen, and then this.
And they were now trying to decide who should give and who should receive. Eventually, they decided that Castile would give first. Wait, we need condoms, Castile shrieked.
Why? You're an angel. How are you going to get men pregnant? Or granted, I didn't check, but I didn't see pregnancy in here.
Oh man, but it's everywhere. Maybe he's just read a lot of fan fiction on the internet, and he's just trying to be sure.
Perhaps. Now, stop stalling, my sweet virgin angel. How do you know this? Did he share this fact with you? Is he just that innocent looking like a giant puppy dog? I don't know.
Cass is, you could probably assume.
It's that bad, huh?
Cass is pretty clueless, yeah. Well, and it always gets worse in like fan works. He goes from he goes like the range of kind of awkwardly clueless because he's not like a human born human to being like an awkward little space potato.
We're back to
So,
potatoes.
we're back to potatoes, that's right.
Dean said, however, being a generally kind person. That's a backhanded compliment if I've ever seen one. Dean decided to appease Castile and called Bobby to ask him to pick up a pack of Trojans.
Yeah, and Bobby would be like, "You fucking idiot, what the hell do you think I'm for?" Like, seriously, I can just imagine him calling up Bobby and saying, "Pick up a pack of Trojans, Bobby." You know, like, how the hell? Wow. While waiting for Bobby to bring condoms, I just,
Gotta be prepared.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, just the concept of Dean just calling up Bobby and being like, "Yeah, hey, can you bring a box of condoms? We're having an orgy."
I'm not gonna ask you to join in or anything.
Oh, he probably will. Anyway, um, while waiting for Bobby to bring condoms, Dean decided to have another go with Sam. The two of them had hot, passionate, incestual man-sex for 13 minutes.
Well, that's kind of what happens when you fuck your brother up the ass.
Before Bobby walked through the door in a purple Speedo and his trucker hat, with a bag full of condoms, lube, and strap-ons.
Why would you wear a purple Speedo with a trucker hat?
Because Bobby wears a trucker hat. And I'm imagining that this is actually would be Bobby's actual expression if he were to walk into this. No, that's also probably the expression he would get if Dean called him up on the telephone to ask him to bring a box of condoms to an orgy.
What are the strap-ons for? Asked Sam.
"You'll see," said Bobby deviously. Yeah.
Dean and Castile put on their condoms. Wait, both?
Yeah, that seems a bit odd. Did they not decide who? Oh, yeah, they decided that Castile would give first, so why is Dean putting on one?
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, why are they both have condoms on? Whatever. Dean had a purple one for some reason. Castile had a yellow one for some reason. Both were glow in the dark. Glow in the dark.
I'm giving this sort of helpless shrug. I don't know.
Okay, anything that glows in the dark is not going up inside me. So I don't think they would want anything inside them that glows in the dark.
I don't know. It makes it kind of fun, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. I literally do not know. I just don't fucking.
And now I'm wondering if they do have glow in the dark condoms.
Oh, yeah, they do.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Okay. As the two of them began, Sam and Bobby cheered on. "Yeah, baby," Bobby called, stroking his hairy belly. Would it make sense to stroke himself, not his stomach?
Well, maybe he's just touching his body to get himself turned on. I don't know.
I guess. Some self-foreplay. Self-cis.
We got Bobby here in a purple Speedo. Come on, you're gonna balk at him stroking his belly. That's probably the most characteristic thing he's done in this whole story. Suddenly, a gaggle, no less, of angels appeared in the room. "What the fuck?" said Zachariah. Yes, I can imagine this angel saying, "What the fuck?" He glanced over at Castiel, who was now climbing on top of Dean. "Castiel, this is entirely against regulations."
Fuck the regulations,
"I've
Castile
got
moaned.
money!"
Oh, excuse me. Fuck the regulations. That sounded terrible.
Hey, Harley.
Go get those condoms for me, the glow in the dark
So-
ones.
so- oh my god. Oh my god. Suddenly, Sam tackled Zachariah from behind. Before Zachariah knew what was happening, Sam had ripped off his pants and began showing off to Zachariah exactly how skilled he was in the art of lovemaking.
By raping an angel.
Yeah.
That seems like a good idea right there.
Especially since you've got a gaggle of them standing around that could probably destroy you. Unfortunately, Zachariah was impotent, leaving him unable to return the favor to Sam.
Okay, sure. Don't worry, Sam. I'll fill in for him, Bobby said, putting his hand on Sam's exquisite prick.
Oh, wow. Bobby attempted to take off his hat, but Sam blocked the hand. No, leave it on.
Suddenly, the trickster entered the room with a dozen hot cops. Who's the trickster?
The trickster is, he's one of the characters. He always seems to make things go crazy. He has a lot of control over reality and stuff. He fucks with the brothers a lot. Not like this, obviously, but but he fucks around with reality and usually likes he has a sense of humor, but it's a kind of a warped sense of humor.
This party's just getting started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
But it don't stop till I walk in. Who needs hell on earth when you've got orgies? Lucifer said to one of his many demonic minions. I don't think it's quite the same, actually. Now, where did that delicious Bobby Singer go? How could you possibly lose track of Bobby? Like, it's pretty...
Is this the same guy we're talking about? Because he's busy with Sam.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. And you know what Bobby looks like? It's not like you are going to lose track of him. He's wearing a hat and a Speedo. If you lose track of Bobby, you're probably not capable of being the commander of hell.
2 hours later, Castile fell asleep in Dean's arms, proud that he had taken part in the greatest orgy known to man.
What?
How would he know this if he's a virgin?
What? How is this? How is this?
I don't know. It was so vague. Little did he know that this entire episode had been filmed by Bobby and was currently being distributed to people across the world. Needless to say, when the CW caught wind of this, they decided not to continue Supernatural for a 5th season. Wait, so they're filming real-life events. This is news to me. I did not realize Supernatural was a reality show.
You know, I have to say that all things considered, this was actually kind of a better resolution for that story than the 5th season. I know. I'm going to get hate mail.
Everybody gets hate mail.
I'm going to get hate mail.
So, Hushicho, what'd you think of that story? Though I think you just gave your opinion.
I was immensely amused, actually. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, it didn't focus on any of the details or tell us really anything that happened other than Castiel having a psychotic break and Dean apparently having teleporting pants. But
well, that was assuming he wasn't wearing pants. We're just assuming they were all naked already because they were having sex.
yeah, which, you know, is kind of a reasonable expectation because
True.
if you've ever tried to have sex with clothes on, especially the fact that Dean likes to wear jeans, denim is not the most giving thing, and zippers and penises do not go together.
Ow.
Yes, they do not go together. Even when they're undone and there's no chance of zipping yourself up in them, those little metal teeth against it are not pleasant. They are not pleasant. So, yeah, just putting that out there.
Well, I think I would have liked it better had I actually seen the show and know who all these people are.
Yeah, you probably would be a lot more amused if you knew who the characters are, but
So as it stands, the story does nothing for me
yeah.
except introduce me to glow in the dark condoms.
Introduces you to glow in the dark condoms and the characters in Supernatural, whom everybody pretty much thinks this is actually how it is, because, well, to be honest, there's so much homoerotica between the characters in Supernatural that I remember one prominent website called it the something like the gayest series that isn't really gay or something like that. Like,
It's Nightmare on Elm Street too.
yeah, it really sort of is. It's kind of funny because like, you look at it and you think, yeah, I can see it. Like there was this one hilarious recurring post that's like this person is watches Supernatural and their mother, who has never really seen an episode of it and just knows what she knows by walking past while someone else is watching it, she calls it the series with those two gay guys who fight the monsters. And it's like the person that posted it said, I haven't had the heart to tell her what it's really about or who they are. Like, she's apparently been watching Supernatural for some time, and her mother just catches bits of it. Never has seen a full episode, but knows it as that show with two gay guys fighting monsters. So take that as you will.
Well, I don't think it's a bad story if you're familiar with the show, but as somebody who's not, I think you could have put more detail in it and had it be just as funny.
I think it would have been a more enjoyable story for me as well if there had been more detail, more things to actually latch on to, because it's kind of like this whole thing assumes not only that the person reading it is very familiar with all the characters by name, but they are also willing to basically imagine the whole thing in their mind aside from a few scant details that are provided.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot. I mean, we spend more.
Yeah, I mean, this is the bare basics, and it assumes that you are so familiar with the show that it doesn't need to tell you anything. Except imagine this, and then there you go, done.
Yeah, like instead of telling us, Dean boned Sam, you could say, in detail what Dean and Sam did in their interactions, because even just like a paragraph of doing something would be giving us something to look at, to think about, rather than, yeah, this happened and it was great. you know, I almost want to say, show us, don't tell us, but you know what I mean. Like in
Yeah.
comics they say, show them, don't tell them.
Yeah, well, that applies for here. I mean, it's a short hit and run,
Yeah,
and I'm looking at the other stories this person does, and it looks like, with the exception of one story called Namesake, which is Harry Potter in 14 chapters, they do a lot of short hit and run
yeah,
stories. Because let's see, 788 words, 891 words, 565 words, and this one is 637.
yeah.
So I mean, I don't know about Namesake, but it looks like we just like doing a lot of quick one shots, which it's okay. Sometimes that's all you have in you is like a small idea, and you quickly type it out and
Yeah.
go with it. I mean, that's kind of how if anybody's familiar with my Voltron story in my story Green Apples, I think I say somewhere in an author's note that I meant it to be like just this kind of quick little thing, but it turned out to be a nice self-contained story. And it really, if I remember right, I don't think it was really that long. It probably was under 1,000 words. But of course, and of course, it didn't have as much detail as I tried to put in the story. But I, I don't know. I think it makes sense and okay as a quick little fic like that. But at the same time, you can put in a bit of detail. Also, my other story for Inuyasha, Wind Dance. That is very short, but also gets the point across with as little detail as possible. So it's doable, but you need more. It's more like a quick little scene versus, okay, this guy banged this guy, and now we're moving on to these guys banging, and then this guy is impotent, so then this other guy stepped in to jack the other dude off. You
Yeah.
know, you need a little more than just like bam, 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 bam. You need like, okay, here's a thing going on, describe it. Here's a thing going on, describe it.
Yeah.
Even in a short story. I forgot why I'm talking, but I had a point here somewhere.
Well, we were talking about, tell us more detail, show us figuratively.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot, is what I'm saying. If you want to write a short story, it needs to be a little more than what we have here.
Yeah, just give us something to look at, something to stimulate our imaginations.
Yeah, like this quick sentence with opening sentence. Having escaped briefly the Archangel. Well, who's that?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna make up somebody, or whatever? Castile appeared at St. Mary's. Well, where's St. Mary's? What is it? Just briefly say that. To warn the Winchesters. Okay. That entire fleet of angels was coming for them. Why? Why were you held captive, and why is there a fleet of angels coming? And then, that's just its own little small paragraph, maybe two. And then you move on to the next line. Like, he walks into a mass orgy with Lucifer and demons and the devil and Chuck. And then, which that line is fine enough, I guess, by itself. But that would be my point.
Yeah, I mean, this was amusing, but it would be so much more amusing, especially for someone like you who is not at all familiar with the characters or the series or the premise or anything.
I've seen, I think it was the end of season 1 and the premiere of season 2, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but Mom watched it and liked it, but then she kept telling me something about instead of focusing on the two boys, it started focusing on two girls, and Mom didn't like that, so she stopped watching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about because I haven't seen the show, but okay, Mom.
Yeah, so to sum up, I think I enjoyed the story. I was very amused by it, but I really wish that it had been revised to be a little bit better. It's not bad. It's just that
needs a little more work, I think.
Yeah, it does need some revisions. Would be nice. It would be nice to hear more detail, because this is not only a funny premise, it's a potentially very hot premise. So you could really get this into something just that people would read and just truly love just by adding just a little bit more. Because I think even someone that isn't really intimately familiar with this series would be able to read something like this if it were fleshed out a bit more.
Yeah.
Like the anti-kink story I read for I Love Fanfiction. I think that's something that pretty much anybody would be able to read, even if they don't really know the characters super duper well, and get something out of it. They probably enjoy it. They might even think it's pretty sexy. And I think that's sort of the thing to go for in this sort of thing. Like even if your only target is someone in the same fandom that knows the series very well, it's a series that's been going on for quite some time, so you can't really bank on them knowing everything. Just like you had said, St. Mary's and the Archangel and Fleet of Angels and all these other. It would be nice to have some sort of context for that, or at least some detail that we can work off of to segue into the orgy itself, and that could use so much more detail. Like you could have done single short chapters of any one of these interactions.
Yeah.
And it would have been totally something that was well within the realm of possibility to do.
Yeah. So in conclusion, it's okay.
Yeah.
Could have been more refined, more detailed, and could have been just a bit more, I think, would have made this really, a perfectly fine story. But otherwise, it's fine the way it is. But if you're not familiar with the show already, you probably want to skip the story over, or not give it to somebody who isn't familiar with the story.
Yeah, I mean, this will probably amuse anybody that knows who the characters are, but anybody that doesn't will probably be like, "What the fuck? Who are these people?"
Yeah, they're just like this dude who's an angel and this other guy who's a fallen angel that I know thanks to the Bible. And then there are these brothers having sex with each other and some demons and then some angels show up. And this other guy shows up with seeing the dark condoms. Glow in the dark condoms.
I'm like imagining someone with a pair of glasses and condoms are the lenses, and they have these little those reservoir tips, you know. I wanted to call them nipples. They are sort of like little dick nipples, but
You know, to show my naivety, I always wondered why you had that little tip there on condoms. I never actually knew why. But thank you for sharing.
it has been a very profoundly educational night.
Apparently we're figuring out cable. Oh my god, the words. I am now Cable from, is it X-Men?
Yeah, I think you're a lot better though.
And but apparently during this story we're finding out that Caleb is very innocent in some things.
In some things.
Like, I know condoms existed, but I didn't know that they glue in the dark as well. Well, some of them anyway.
Yeah, they do have. They even have glow in the dark, like dildos.
Okay.
And you know what the cool thing is? They actually have like toys that will vibrate by syncing up with the rhythm of music on your iPod. Like you can seriously put sync an MP3 player with them, and it like syncs up with the rhythm. It's amazing. I don't know when you would really use this, but it's interesting that they've got this technology.
I guess if just your generic vibrating dildo wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you really want to be vibrated by, I don't know, One Direction or whatever, you can get One Erection. I feel so ashamed and so dirty.
You should.
I probably should.
So we're going to try something new on the end of the show aside from fully sunning out just yet.
Please follow us on social media, subscribe to our channel if you like it, and visit our website at badfanfictiontheatre.weebly.com. It's got fan art, episode links, and all kinds of fun information.
This has been Bad Fanfiction Theater, technically OK Theater.
Or OK Fanfiction, or what the hell ever we're doing.
What the hell ever this story category fits into. Thank you for listening. Bye!
Bye!